Oh, all right. We are live now. Finally. All right. We're live. What's up, guys? This is Jonathan from JPlaysKeys. I am here back again. I do not have any keys with me right now, obviously. I am in my office. I was doing some errands, doing some work today, and I figured that I might as well sit down and try to talk to my YouTube audience for a little bit. And the topic for today is going to be reaching your goals in music, and also giving you a little update on what's coming up next for Jay Plays Keys. I just want to talk about what I'm going to plan to do for the channel. So I'm not teaching a song at this moment. So I'll go ahead and talk about what's coming up for Jay Plays Keys first. So right now I got a lot of changes going on in my life, like stuff, babies, things like that. So I haven't been able to make a lot of videos, but I have seen two specific requests that I want to speak to. So one is to do more songs and do more lessons for beginners. So if you're a beginner and you either don't know how to play the piano at all, or you want to learn how to play the piano, hello, Christopher Ward. Thanks for shouting me out. And you're kind of at that beginner level. I've seen some requests for people saying, hey, can you do something that's for straight up beginners? And as you know, you watch my videos, you got to already kind of know how to play the piano just a little bit in order to follow my videos. So I want to do something like that for all those beginners out there and kind of take you from 0 to at least, 5 or 10 level to play the piano. I got you. I hear you. I'm going to do it. What I want to do for Jay Plays Keys, my real vision is not just to show people how to play music. It's really to help churches and things like that might not be able to afford, a high dollar musician. You can grow up a musician in your church, from age 5 or 6, whatever. They can watch. They can watch the videos and they can learn how to play. So a lot of stuff that I do is towards intermediate and advanced level musicians, but I'll do a little bit for beginners as well. Another one, I'm advanced level at the piano. That's what's up. I like it. So another thing, oh, you took my next one there, Hyra KJ, was I hear people say, do something with shouting music, do something with preacher chords and all that good stuff. Okay, I will. I will. It's coming. I know that's been requested. That's one of the most popular things. I know that that other guys, Jermaine Griggs and Jamal Hartwell, those guys, C-Dub, they got a lot of shout music videos out there, but I want to put the Jay Plays Keys twist on it. Not going to promise that it's going to be amazing. Just kidding. But I do want to show a little bit of shout. What happened was I was playing at a very traditional church like 3 years ago, and now I've been playing at more modern contemporary churches. So like I don't do as much shouting music, so I don't think to do it on YouTube. But I hear you. I'm going to do some shouting music. And the third request that I want to respond to here on live is people say, hey, can you do a video showing me how to play by ear? And while I do play by ear, and I think a lot of you play by ear, if you think about it, it's like saying, hey, can you teach me how to walk, right? It's something you do every day and it's natural to you now, but at some point you had to learn. And thinking back on how did I really learn how to walk, it's kind of difficult. So I've been thinking about it, writing on my whiteboard over there, trying to say what type of things I think you need to learn in order to play by ear. So we're going to do that, play by ear. So I really think I'm going to go away from a lot of song tutorials per se, get more into skills. That way, if you learn a skill, you can learn any song, right? That way, I think that would be a benefit to a lot of people. So I just talked a lot. If you got any, passing chords, yes, that type of stuff. Passing chords, intro chords. This is one thing I thought was pretty cool, right? You ever go to a church with a really good musician, and like whenever someone's walking up to the piano, you don't know how good they're going to be, right? And if you're a musician, you're like, I wonder what they're about to do. And then they have some intro that they do as soon as they play the piano, like boom, and then a run or like a bunch of beautiful chords or something like that. That's like to let everybody know, hey, I know what I'm doing. I want to teach people how to do a little bit of that. That way, as soon as you walk in, if you're walking in for an interview or you're walking in to do someone's wedding or someone's, church travel choir, like you got immediate trust from them because the way you approach the keyboard with confidence, they're like, okay, this is my guy. I trust you. Come help us minister in this way. So that's something I want to do. I think also, and this is the first time I kind of verbalize this with my whole lessons and putting them online, and then you can kind of watch the first couple minutes and then you buy the rest of the lesson. That's been going okay. I heard about this thing called Patreon, and and what it does, you basically can donate to a channel, and like a little as $1 or whatever, or not. And basically what I would do is put my lessons on there and ask for Patreon donations. And I think what that would do is, because I don't want people not to be able to afford the lessons and not to be able to learn, right? So if I put my stuff on Patreon and say, hey, can you donate to the channel or not, but you got the whole free video whether you donate or not, but you can still watch the videos, I think that'll be good. And then those who have the means and have the desire to support what I'm doing, you can go and donate. But if you don't and you're not ready yet, you can go ahead and still watch the whole video. I think that's the direction I'm going to go over the next couple months. That way everyone can see the entire video, because I don't want people not learning. So that's kind of a tough decision for me, but just technically making it happen on the website and stuff. But I think that's something else I'm going to do. I'm pretty much just brain dumping right now on live, and whoever has comments, you can comment and tell me if you think that's the right thing to do. But I've seen a couple other guys do it, like podcasts and YouTube people I really respect, and I've donated some people's Patreon accounts, not asking for anything in return, but I'm like, oh, I like you, I'll give you $1 a month or $5, whatever. So I think I might do that for JPlaysKeys. Tailspin, does the church pay you to play, or do you do it for free? The church I'm playing at now, they pay me. I've pretty much played and gotten paid for like years. Right now they pay me, but like I think I give back some of the money too. So, it works out, and that's only because I have another career where I don't depend on the money. But when I was in college and things like that, like I did pay and I got paid because that was my job. And, that's just how I roll. But yeah, I do events and things like that sometimes and don't ask for pay. Just depends. I know there's a big debate about that in the gospel music world. I don't really get into it. If someone says, hey, I'll give you $100 to do this, I say yes or no. Or they say, hey, do you want to come and, donate your time for this? I'll say yes or no. And it just depends on what's going on. So yeah, there's that. Okay, I'm going to go into, I got my notes on this other screen. I'm going to go into something about reaching your goals. I think I made that the other part of the title, right? Reaching your goals in music. And what I want to talk about here is that I see a lot of early musicians as I go and play and or whatnot, or even at work that's not music. And you see a younger person, they're like, hey, here's what I want to do. I got these big dreams, these big ambitions. I want to play for Donnie McClurkin, or I want to play for, this church or that church or whatever. And those goals are so far off that I feel like sometimes we're not making those small decisions and those small steps you got to take between playing music in your garage to playing on the big stage, with some of those top names, or playing at a bigger church or whatever your goal is. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how you can get from where you're at to getting to whatever that goal is. The first thing you need to do is be realistic about the goal that you're setting. And what I mean by that is not what you might think. I don't mean, hey, set a smaller goal that you could reach, but be realistic about what it's going to take to meet that goal. So when I was younger and just playing with like 2 or 3 fingers and just wanted to play at a church, it was kind of easy to find somewhere to play. But as you start wanting to play for bigger churches and for bigger choirs or whatever, more talented groups, it becomes more competitive, right? Because you got people that's their full-time job is playing the piano, and I got another job. Or you got people that are really, really skilled, right? You watch some of these other channels, and these guys are crazy. C-Dub, whatever, Piano Clubhouse, Jamal Hartwell, like Jamal Hartwell lives in Florida. I'm from Florida, this dude is really good. And so you got to be realistic about what it's going to take to get to your goal. So I'll never tell someone to make a smaller goal. I just tell you to make a bigger sacrifice, to make a bigger action plan, right? So my goal right now, I used to say, oh, I wanted to play for this artist or that. My goal right now is I kind of start having a family and start doing other things. Like I want to play at a place that's fun and that has dynamic worship. And what I mean by dynamic worship is a place where it's not just hymns and it's not just shouting, but a place where like you have the full spectrum of worship throughout the service. And so that's really what I'm looking for. And that's not so much a size thing as finding the right church and meeting the right people. So if I know that's the type of place I want to play, like I got to be out there meeting people. Like, so I even bought like these, I should have wore one for this video, but I bought these shirts to wear that say like piano dude, or I play the piano or something like that. And when I go to the barbershop, I wear one of those shirts because, you know, all the guys in the barbershop, some of them go to church and they know I play the piano because I wear this shirt, you know, or going to Walmart or whatever. So I'm trying to find the right place. I'm not just trying to find my second comment here about reaching your goals in music is just, you know, realize that things take time, and it's not just the passing of time that makes you better as a musician. It's what you're doing during that time that's going to make you better as a musician or anything in life. So I see a lot of people say, oh man, I played the piano for 4 years, I should be better by now. I played the piano for 3 years, I should be better. Well, yeah, maybe, but what have you done? Are you, you know, are you practicing 2 or 3 hours a day? Are you seeking other musicians to sit with you and trying to learn some chords, like walking up to folks at church or whatever and saying, hey, show me one chord, you know, after church? Anybody will stop and show you one thing. In fact, they like it when you walk up to them, right? And you just write down, oh, hey, when you were playing As the Deer, at that time, you did this transition that kind of sounded like this. Can you show that to me real quick, brother? I really appreciate it. Like, are you really going out there and like getting the knowledge you need, or are you just saying, oh, I've been kind of doing this thing, it's kind of a hobby, let me change my thing, and you know, I've been doing that for 2 or 3 years and I still haven't reached my goal, but I hope I do one day. That's fine, there's no judgment either way. You know, we all have a life, but think about making the most of your time. So if I want to practice an hour a day, like maybe I'll practice on my own an hour a day. That's one option. Maybe I'll get a music coach or a music tutor. And yes, that means pay money to get a tutor. I've done that before when I was able to, and say, okay, 1 hour a week or 1 hour, 2 hours a month, I'll sit with this guy. That makes that hour even more valuable than the hour that you spent by yourself, right? Or maybe you'll say, hey, I'm going to go to a workshop for a weekend. You know, they have these weekend praise workshops. That makes that time even more valuable than just practicing on your own, right? Or you might say, oh, I'm going to go and, like I said, sit with someone. So there's different things you can do to make that practice even more valuable. So, you know, go ahead and remember, things take time, and it's not the passage of time, it's what you're doing with the time that's going to make you more skilled or not. Okay, I got one more thing in here is that, you know, it's okay if your goals change over time with music. So, and this is again something that, you know, I've personally been working on, because, you know, it seems like the right thing to do with music is always to, you know, try to play at the most crazy place or whatever. And I think now I've kind of transitioned to, I want my music to have impact. You know, when I go somewhere, they'll know it's got impact. And so I think for you guys, as you're learning to play, you're watching my channel and other guys' channel, I think, you know, Sabrina is now online. Feel free. Okay, I got you. I think that it's okay as you, you know, as your goals change, you know, it's okay to pivot, right? So I wanted to play at this church before. I wanted to play for this artist before, but life happened. Now I got to do something in my hometown. That's okay to pivot. Like, you don't have to keep running against what life is throwing at you. You know, if you at one point, you know, like I said, I was in college, I was single, I was doing my thing. I can pick up and move to any city in the US when I graduate, right? Hey, what's up, Lex? Hey, I was just talking about college and my friend from college popped up. I can move anywhere. And so then I might think about, oh man, I'm gonna go to New York. I'm gonna go to LA or whatever. Not me, but somebody else might, right? And then now it's like, you know, you start working full time and things like that. and now you can't just pick up and go, and go play the music, somewhere. Now I'm like, okay, I got to find the best place that's within like 20 miles to play or to go hang out, right? And then sometimes it might be a thing where you might have to work on Sundays, and now you got to put together a group and you guys play in your basement or something like that. So all I'm saying, it's okay to change. Like, don't fight what life is throwing at you just to have the goal that you made when you were 18 or 17. It's okay to change it up, and that doesn't make you any more or less of a musician. That just means, hey, you're doing life, and that's all right. So that was my quick little update about reaching your goals as a musician. What I talked about kind of at the beginning, because I think a couple people did join, was just that I want to, for JPlaysKeys, make some more videos. I've heard the requests for things that are not necessarily songs, but more skills oriented. So like, make something for beginners, and make something that shows you how to play by ear, make something that shows me, shouting music or whatever. So I'm just saying that, hey, I'm okay with making that pivot and doing things like that. Let's see, which is more important, to learn the bass line or the melody of a song? Oh man, look. The bass line is the most important thing. I know the melody sounds all right, but the bass line is the most important thing. And when it comes to playing by ear, when I figured out how to find the bass in a song, like, my skill went from like level 3 to level 7, because you can build your chords on top of the bass. In fact, you don't even have to play the right chords, right? If you got the right bass, you can play any chord that doesn't sound ugly, and the person can still sing the song. Like, as long as you're not doing it as a solo, you can just, play chords on top of the bass. But you gotta have the bass right, because that's what people, they're subconsciously thinking about the bass, and they're subconsciously expecting to hear that bass. So it is all about that bass. It is truly all about that bass. The melody is important, in my opinion. This is just me. I think the melody is important in two important spots. Number one, let's see my finger. Number one, the melody is important if, oh, Amazon's about to deliver a package. Anyway, the melody is important. One, if you're playing a hymn, you need to have the melody. Like, that is what the song is, right? Amazing Grace is Amazing Grace. If you don't play the melody that sounds like Amazing Grace, then it's not Amazing Grace. Certain songs are just like that. Like, if you don't play it the way it's supposed to be played, it's not that song. So if you're playing a hymn, boom. And then the other one is, you got to play the melody whenever you are playing like a prayer time or altar call, like place concentration. Like, if you're playing Lord Prepare Me to Be a Sanctuary and no one's singing with you, and you only got one keyboard, and that keyboard is you got to play that melody. Because you start playing Lord Prepare Me to Be a Sanctuary, if no one knows you're playing Lord Prepare Me, even if you're playing a bass line, they can't follow you, right? So it's all good. So there you go. Those are two times where I think the melody is really important, but the bass is always important. I hope that he does. Oh gosh, he did it. Yeah, I knew they were gonna knock and make the dog bark. Okay, let's see. Sion 1017. When will you start providing beginner videos? I like to show all 12 of my children that they too can be all about that bass. That is a good comment, Mr. Stewart. I think it's good you have 12 kids, because not only is it one for every tribe, but you also have a kid that can play in every key and kind of specialize in every key. But on a more serious note, I would probably do that, and I'll start in about 30 days. So I'm not starting anything new for the near future, but I say, by the end of the year, here's what I want. I want to have a beginner course out, and I want to have a beginner course, and I want to have a how can I play by ear course. That's what I want to do. 12 kids, LOL kid that can play. I'm telling you, like, you really can. Just everybody specialize, and then whatever they modulate, you just switch a different kid in there, and you can just play. Let's see. I'm an older player and beginner. I'm really slow. I'm looking for lessons online that are more my speed. Will you please teach slow people like me? Will I teach slow? I don't know. That's an interesting question, right? So I do want to help a lot of people. I can only I can only teach like, the way I teach. I think when I have that beginner those beginner lessons come out, I think those will be more the speed you're looking for. When I'm kind of playing and just doing a song, I don't call. Sometimes I do call something out as, oh, this is intermediate, like my 7-3-6. That's a pretty advanced type deal because I'm using like 10 fingers, whatever. But I don't call it whether it's beginner or intermediate a lot because all it is me. Because you might go to somebody else's channel and they're playing what I'm doing plus some. And then if I called it advanced, then you see someone else do it and it's not really advanced. So, but I hear what you're saying. I think when I come out with that beginner video, I think that'll help you get where you need to go. And then when you got that baseline of understanding for music and gospel music, I think you'll be able to pick up any sort of video. Like once you understand how to play and especially how to play in a couple different keys, you can watch anybody's video and you'll be all right. Let's see. Any ear training I can do to develop my ear more? Man, look, that's what I talked about at the beginning of the video. And what I said was, I play by ear every day. I don't necessarily know how to tell you how to play by ear. Like the biggest part is the bass line. I like just like what Sabrina brought up. Like if you can put on your headphones and learn the bass line to songs, like start with slow songs, worship songs. I'll say start with As the Deer. Listen to somebody play As a Deer because that bass doesn't move too often. And if you can find that bass with that, this is my octave left hand. If you can find the bass as they're playing, that's the first part about being able to play by ear. And then after that, you learn how to play chords, right? But that's the best way I can tell you how to play by ear. Typically, so let's say I'm in a key of C. I wish I had my keyboard with me, but if I'm in a key of C, the way I learned how to play by ear, and this is not right or wrong, it's not theoretically sound because I get called out by those that have degrees in music all the time for saying stuff wrong, but that's okay. Here's what I do. If say I'm in a key of C and I'm playing a C in my left hand, the chord that I will put on top of that is probably a C and an E, right? I play the chord that's in the note that's in my bass, and then I go up two more notes in that same key and I play it. Most of the time, if you're a beginner, you're going to be right. Like that's going to be what to play. If you're on a C and you play in your left hand a C, and right hand C and E, you got a C major chord, C natural, you're good. Boom. And then the bass goes up to D. You play a D in your left hand. I don't know why I'm doing my hands like this, but that's just what I feel like doing. You put a D in your left hand, you play D, E, F, D and F. 50% of the time, that's going to be the right chord to play. And then if it goes to F, to 4, you play F in your left hand, F and A in my right hand. That's going to be the chord to play. Now, that means you're playing like with 2 fingers on your left hand if you do octaves and 2 fingers on your right hand. But that's enough to get you started. That's exactly how I started playing hymns. Okay, I put my hands down now. That's exactly how I started playing hymns when I first started playing for church, was just finding this, these chords like this, just pretending I got a piano up there. So that's all good. So that's what I would do. Sometimes you'll get the wrong chord, and that's okay. You just move around, but it's all good. I just loaded videos of me practicing. If you want to go get a good look, hey, yeah, go and look at what Sabrina's posting over there. I'll take a look after this. Let's see. Yeah, it's good to document your process, right? I saw a guy. I wish I had his name, but he kind of said, "Oh, I'm going to learn how to play the piano." And he documented on YouTube the day he started playing, which was terrible, and the day he's playing like some Beethoven stuff. Like within a year, this guy was just like crazy good. And that goes back to what I was saying. It's not just the passage of time. People say you got to put the time in. It's not the passage of time that makes you good. It's what you're doing during that time. And that guy obviously was doing some pretty amazing stuff. So you can find like My Piano Journey or Piano Progression, whatever. You can find people like that, and it's pretty cool. Let's see. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Who is your favorite keyboardist? Man, I don't know a lot of people by name, but like I'm getting more. I started with Jermaine Griggs. Like Jermaine will always be one of my favorite keyboardists because that's where I really learned how to play in church and play by ear. Like his lessons took me from where I was at trying to figure it out, and he kind of made it to where I could like, okay, I'm competent enough to play in church. So that's my guy. Oh man, Jared, thank you, Alexis. There's a man named Jared that lives in Florida. I don't even know his last name, but that would be probably my number 2 favorite keyboardist. He was just good. He was at University of Florida. He played for the gospel choir. And this guy I don't know what he was doing. I still don't know. And then that was like 10 years ago. He was doing runs and chords. And I didn't know that just with 10 fingers, you could do all that. But like he was it. And the other guy is Corey Henry. I think his name is Corey Henry. Just ridiculous. Like he's very clean. So I like musicians that play clean, because I started playing. Thank you so much, Ernest. I'll definitely let everybody know when I get on Patreon. I started playing classical, right? And so I'm really into, if you are playing a C chord, you need to play a C chord. There's a lot of musicians that are really good and they're really skillful, but the chords are kind of dirty. It's just how you learn how to play. It's not good or it's not bad. But I'm into people that you can tell that they spent some time doing classical and now they're doing gospel, and those chords are they're just clean. And Corey's that type of person. Corey Henry, he plays stuff and you can tell like he's studied jazz and blues and he knows his theory. And when he plays, it's just nice. So that's my. Oh yeah, Corey Henry. Yeah, I can listen to him like all night on a Friday. So he's pretty good. Let's see. I played drums. Alexa said Jared, no last name. Yeah, Jared needs no last name. I mean, he's just Jared. I play the drums since I was a child. Now I'm starting to. Yeah. I am very. I'm not jealous, because jealousy is bad, but I admire those people who can play multiple instruments, like especially the drums, right? Like, because I don't have the rhythm, and people always say, "How do you play the piano? You don't have rhythm." I just don't. I don't have the rhythm to do the drums, but I respect drum players a lot. I follow a couple on Instagram, and I'm just like, something about seeing someone play live drums, especially when they put the sticks on fire. Oh man, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool to me. Let's see. It's overwhelming. There are so many YouTube channels, but I find myself bouncing around and gaining knowledge from each. Would you recommend okay, look, would I recommend just sticking to one teacher or one channel when there's so many that are on YouTube? This goes back to what I said, reaching your goals. What you need to, I'm not going to say what you need to do, because I'm not like the master of anything. What I would suggest, and what I had to do for myself in many areas of life, whether it's college, whether it's my job or whatever, you got to choose one person, one teacher, and you got to execute until you've executed what they have to teach. Here's what you'll find is that you can watch 20 different professors, 20 different musicians or whatever, and they're all telling you the right thing to do. But you as a person, you can only execute one worldview at a time, right? And a good example I'll give, I watch a lot of personal finance videos, right? There's a guy named Dave Ramsey who has 7 baby steps. And he says, this is how you do money, right? Then there's a guy named Brian Preston who says, this is how you do money. Then there's a guy named Grant Cardone who said, this is how you do money. All of it works. You just can't do them all at one time. It's like a diet, right? I'm going to be vegan, or I'm going to be pescatarian. You can't be a vegan and a pescatarian at the same time, right? I don't know a lot about diet, but you got to choose one. That's what my trainer told me. They all work. You got to choose one. I would say maybe one, maybe two. I mean, you're not going to die because you listen to multiple different teachers, but you got to like put your notifications on for 1 or 2 people on YouTube if you're really trying to learn something. And you gotta learn it until you've hit, you kind of exceeded what they could teach you, then you move to the next person. But if you're doing it for, for fun because you like to get the knowledge, then watch as many as you want. But I would just sit down, watch one person, and and do it. That was really good. That was a really good good question there. So yeah, that's what's going on JPlaysKeys. I know Easter's coming up. I was really hoping to have like an Easter package of songs up, and I might still do that, but things happen, and I didn't do it. But next year, I want to do Christmas this year. I'm going to have a Christmas package up. So if you just get this package of songs, you can play your Christmas services. and we'll do Easter next year and or whatever. So that's really what I want to do here at JPlaysKeys. So I appreciate everybody for helping the channel grow. If you haven't subscribed already or turn on the notification bell, do that. That way you know exactly. Sorry, my dog's looking at me. Exactly when I post something. Let's see. Ugh. All right, here's the dog. This is the one I was making all that noise. She's got a lot of bark, very little bite, and she wanted to be in the video because she kept licking my foot. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, put the notification bell on so you can get your notifications when I post a new video and whatever. So I think that's all I got to say now. I'm about to go and do some more chores and run some more errands. So I appreciate everybody watching, and I appreciate all the cool questions. I think I'll try to do this like every. You know what? That's a good point, Sabrina. Thanks for bringing that up. So I love your channel, especially when you played alongside a singer. That singer was my wife, and she is a good singer. And I have told her that as soon as she's ready, we're going to start posting these videos more consistently. Like, I like playing with the singer because you guys don't just want to know how to play a song. The point of learning how to play a song is to learn how to accompany. And I was just so fortunate that I married someone who I can accompany. So that's what we're going to be doing. Like, look, we have other videos that we recorded. I just gotta post them. So yeah, she's ready. I will tell her that that JPlaysKeys audience is waiting for her to come on. So let me see. Is your dog a mini schnauzer? So my dog is a miniature poodle, and yeah, that's what she is. We had another dog that was also a miniature something or another, but yeah, we got a miniature poodle. She is apricot colored, and she's pretty cool. Stop it. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, that's something I'm really looking forward to for JPlaysKeys, because look, you guys want to be a company. You want to accompany, and that goes back to that question that someone asked. If I play the bass, yeah, if someone's singing, I will show you how you can just play the bass and then just just play regular chords. So that's what's going on. Jay, I wanted to comment on your. Oh yeah, thank you. You have been great. Yeah, I really yeah, thanks, Pastor Sinners. Yeah, hearandplay.com with Jermaine Griggs. That was really one of the places that I really learned how to do it, how to play in church. I also saw him on HGTV. He had a really good episode, Choosing His House. So I'm really happy to see what has happened for him in his business and his life based on his ministry of music. And music can take you anywhere. And so you just choose what you want to do. You be faithful. You keep you be generous, and it'll take you places. So that is good. I really like going live. I think I need to make this like a weekly thing. I like talking to you guys, and I like being able to answer the questions. Live. One more thing that someone pinged me about. They said, "Hey, Jonathan, I want to do online Skype piano lessons. Let's do online Skype piano lessons." I was like, "All right, let's do it." And I failed miserably because I just couldn't figure out how to make the camera and my keyboard and my online on-screen keyboard and all that stuff work without the delay. There's a delay between me hitting the key and him hearing it. And so I'm working on that. I'm actually just going to go on Upwork, find a engineer guy to help me just make that thing happen. So at some point I'll be able to do lessons, one-on-one lessons. I'm not going to do a lot of them because there's only so much time in the day. And but I do want to do a couple of those just to help people. Maybe if you have a specific song you want to learn, or you have a specific technique you want to learn, let me know that you want to do lessons. I think that'll be a better way. I just made that up in my head, so I think that works though. But I don't want to do, let's just do weekly lessons, because I always believe in, hey, we got a mission. It's going to take 2 sessions, 8 sessions, whatever, and then we're done, and you can move on to the next thing. I think that'll help me, and that way I can help as many people as needed. So that's what I'm going to do with online lessons. All right, things just keep coming to my brain. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna peace out here. Maybe feed the dog or something. Yeah. Okay. So Yeah, I don't comment on Sion 1017 right now, but he knows who he is, and I know what he's doing. But I appreciate him a lot. So, all right, guys, I'll see you maybe next week. Probably not next weekend, but I'll see you at some point, and we'll go live again. All right, guys, talk to you later. Have a good one.